Got ourselves Forkbeard over for the team. Oh my god, look at like TBC walked out of that expansion. Except for that belt, but that's really about it. Got ourselves Griffico on that team. We got ourselves Morphed as well with Plush on his mage. Gonna be Nina up next. I do like some of the Nina's mogs though. I like this one from Paladins from Legion. Those shoulders in particular. Big fan of that one. We got ourselves Tricks also on that team versus Atherman first up and running with Call of Duty in the back. We got Handy in here as a Boomkin this time around. Kiosk in the back as well as Zivy with Atherman trying to see if he can round the bend, but Nina staying mounted is going to be able to get himself a proper opener first stun versus Atha. With a blind Searing Glare right after, just trying to see if he can reduce some of the damage of Nina, forcing Nina to miss a lot of the attacks. Big blind right after as Atherman trying to see if he can ramp up. Atherman is playing into Crusade Wing, so he wants to go in, ramp up, and keep ramping until forever until he reaches that critical maximum. Nina is playing the minute wing, so they want to go for sustained damage, but they don't have nearly the same disastrously massive ramp as Atherman. It's not nearly as destructive. It's going to be big shields for Nina really early on off the bat. It's going to be Blessing of Protection. May not even stop Atherman's burst. A lot of it is straight up just holding, but the stun does prevent a lot of it. Wings have waned from Ather and is even able to force out Sporklock out of the guy. He got himself Shield of End. It's Nina. Might be looking at a bubble or potential lay enhance if they even get a chance to drink it right after. Atherman just trying to see if he can use a Shield of Endance to proc damage to Nina. Both of their health bars are very, very low. Atherman does have an immunity, but is going to go for a bit of a battle master trinket just to give him some more health. But Nina looks like is still recovering a little by little. Atherman with a bubble. Does Nina go for a bubble as well? Lay on hands instead. No dampening right now, so actually catches up a lot of healing and still has an immunity for later. Atherman does still have what, lay on hands or a bubble unless Nina takes him out right there. Stun right after. Nina just blasted him out. Is this going to be it? Oh, does get him. Nina using two big abilities, lay on hands and a Blessing of Protection. Atherman only bubble, but only towards the later end, trying to see if we can finish it. How would you survive this, Nina? I don't even understand. And the best part about Nina's go, fighting Kioska, wings are back up. Fought Atherman, wings are up. Kioska, wings are going to be up at least once or twice depending how long this duel goes. So should still have plenty of damage to just keep going. With the Freezing Trapper after Kioska looking for a bit of a reheal, does drop down a Death Shock him, stun onto Nina, maybe looking for a bubble potentially. Honestly, bubbling high might be the play. Kioska leaping in, trying to go for big burst damage. Nina with a stun. Do they have the burst right now? Big Wake of Ashes, Matt hits on Kioska. It is going to be a Spore Cloak. Nina super low. There goes the bubble. Do you stay aggressive or do you play defense now? Hunter's out of line of sight. Maybe looking for the... No, doesn't even care. Bubble is up. Wings are available. Hand of Freedom is up. Has everything. You just go in. Keep going. Freezing Trapper after. Wait, where are your wings, by the way? I'm almost expecting like wings to just pop off anytime now. Explosive shot by Kioska. Stud right after. Nina is kind of in a tight spot right now. Does get wings, could use that to heal. Should be using that for heal as best as possible. Word of Glory as well, self heal. Shield of Menace is up. Kioska got so much range though. You can't even touch him for a good while. You gotta close the gap. Get yourself a stun as soon as possible. It's gonna be Shield of Menace, not holding on for too long. Nina, no health whatsoever. Unless they go for a stun, not much you can really do versus the Hunter though. It is a lot of burst damage and a lot of just range damage. Can't even touch him at all. Well done though, Nina. I thought played really, really well versus Atha. Against Kioska, the Hunter, that is a little rough though. That is extra mortal stack and everything. It is going to be Kioska versus more if it's an Arcane. Every time I see mages with Ring of Frost or Ring of Fire, I automatically assume it's a Fire Mage. I don't know what it is. It's just me, man. Every single time. Morph, did he get hit by... Trank shot? It looked like it was not a trank shot. It looked like it was a chimeric for a second. But I guess he's using trank stun into more with explosive. That is going to be big damage. Eyes book immediately. Doesn't want to find out what's going to happen. Kioska just waiting it out. I like how the Death Shock and Q spinning, by the way. It is not going to leave you until either it runs out of its full duration, that or it lands a couple more hits onto you. It's going to be big damage for Morph potentially, but if Freezing Trap stops him in place, the guy just kind of running in a hamster wheel. Can't really go anywhere right now. Trying to see if he can go external damage onto Kioska, but nothing you could really do. I like the setup. I like the gusto. But man, it's rough. Not quite Seavark level. You know what I mean? Forkbeard up next versus Kioska. Could Kioska really take this for his team though? 4 minutes, 21% dampening. I think he probably could. He's only got, well, as long as he can fight Tricks and Grifka. If he's prepped for Grifka, I think he's going to be A-okay. As long as he doesn't give too many cooldowns through Forkbeard, but the man is not going to go down without a fight. Death Chakra spinning while the man is still Bladestorming. He's still Bladestorming. I love this. I got my favorite Death Chakra bug. He's just got a Perma Blender on him. Big stun onto Forkbeard. Does have himself maybe a little bit of survivability. It is going to be a wall that he could use here with a parry. Fiora into Kioska for just a second. Got himself at least some kind of a defense disarm for a moment before got nothing left. Not even a does get himself a little bit of healing though with the Warlock Hellstone, but not even a Spore Cloak to keep him alive with that second wind healing that you can get from an Absorb. Doing quite a bit of damage to Kioska. Hold on a second. Fork is not out of the game just yet. Does go for a spear. Kioska maybe looking at a big defensive. Hopes to maybe end Forkbeard. Does go for a disarm for a second, but the Dark Iron Racial wasn't enough to remove all of his afflictions. I think it's the disarm, right? It's not a poison or anything. You can't Dark Iron out of that one, can you? Kioska versus Grifka, though. That is going to be a little bit rough. Flare down for just a moment. It is going to be the rogue. Get himself a proper go versus Kioska. Does go for the fortification of the bear. At least gives himself this rallying cry-esque ability the hunters have gotten recently. Into an exposed shot onto Grifka. Does shock him right after. Maybe quite a bit of damage. It's actually a decent amount of damage. Stun right after. Trinket out of Grifka. Throwing in grenades. Evasion is up for the rogue into Turtle Shell. Manic Bandages turning the attention onto the pet immediately while evasion is active, trying to see if he can at least get the pet super low. Shadow Strike for Grifka. Does Kioska have anyone to stop Grifka in his place right now? Because next Eviscerate could be the end of you. Root for just a moment. Smoke Bomb just to give himself a bit of cover. Kioska with a first aid immediately. He needs himself a freezing trap. Something, anything, cheap shot. I think it's just over. Oh, he tried, man. He tried. That was rough. I think unless you just had like a random freezing trap next to you to anticipate a rogue Shadow Step, there's only so much you can really do. But at that point, like the rogue can just walk up to you and hit you from like an arm's reach with that acrobatic strikes. So if he sees you drop it out of a trap, he doesn't really have to Shadow Step. He can just walk up. It's rough, man. It is actually rough. Grifka does get himself a reset. Call of Duty looking for the guy. Picking up the eyes, but I don't really know if he's going to be able to find them all that easily. The pillars in this arena in particular do kind of benefit the rogue, sorta. You got the platforms, you got the pillars, there's a long side to them, so you can always sprint around them. So for Call of Duty, I don't really know. I guess you just either got to use the mobility strategy to get around the pillars quickly to find them, that or sit and bear, wait for the rogue to come to you, and that's exactly what happens. Barkskin really early for Duty. Doesn't matter, Grifka still sends a kid a shot either way though. Cloaker Shadows could be out for the rogue. That's going to be a pretty good time for it. Instead goes in for a blind. I think just wants to go for a reset while he's got the dots on him. Judy needs to be extra careful with the rogue. Needs to maintain the dots on him at all times. You got to make sure the rogue is never behind the pillar without a full set of Moonfire, Sunfire, and whatever extra dots you can throw at the guy. You got to maintain pressure the whole time. Force him to cloak and then keep the dot pressure the entire time. You got yourself knockbacks. Trying to go, I think, for a bash, but an evasion out of the rogue. Trying to maybe go for a step. It is going to be vanished. Shadow Strike to close that gap. Getting a shot right after. Judy is not in a great spot. I think it's going to be Emergency Friends of Regen, but at least has Emergency Friends of Regen together with the Spore Cloak to keep him alive. Renewal right after. Disarm for the rogue. Could go for a cloak. He's just trying to see if he can bait a cloak out of the guy at one point or another. Gouge. Grifka looking for a bit of reset behind the pillar. Judy needs to round the bend and reapply their dots on him as soon as possible. If you can keep the rogue taking damage and in combat, you'll be golden. But if you catch the situation where he lands a sap on you, that's not going to feel great whatsoever. Bash into the rogue, has himself a trinket. Kidney shot as Judy finds himself outside of bear form, which is super unfortunate. Grifka, full set of dances. Big secret technique. I think it's just maybe over. Judy had any health. Oh, does get himself at least Heart of the Wild. I don't know if it'll be enough. Interrupted on nature. Maybe go for a heal. Do you even heal? Do you go aggressive? I don't even know if you go aggressive. I don't even know what you do in this situation once you fall behind like that. Smoke bomb for the Cyclone. Oh no. I think it's over, right? I'd be very, very surprised if Judy somehow escaped out of that one. Zivy gonna be up next. Zivy is gonna need to do basically the same, except the one thing he can do as a shadow priest that a druid can is that mobility of a priest. It's just, I mean, my grandma walks faster than a priest. The mobility is just not quite there. Zivy can maybe get Grifka out in the open. Catch him, you're gonna have to use summon here. That is a cloak. That is a big defensive. Hold on, Zivy now has himself a chance. No trick out of the rogue. If you have yourself the biggest possible go of fear, set it up. Biggest go ever. Big void eruption. Do you have it? Oh, kind of readjusting a little bit. Trying to catch the rogue. Doesn't let's get him back into combat. No void bolts are attacking him. Needs to get around the pillar as soon as possible. If you can and get a stun on the guy, maybe you could make some kind of a go. That fear was a perfect lineup, but that is just so rough. Gonna be a trinket. Silencer to the rogue ain't silencing nothing though. The only thing the rogue is gonna be silencing though is possibly Zivy. Does go for a root, still able to reach that kick. Oh man, the extra melee range on rogues is so nice. For everybody but rogues. For literally everybody but a rogue. Couple of stabs. I think Grifka just has it right. Stun to follow. It's even trying to see if he can crawl his way out of this one. Cheap shot right after him. Handy, this is your chance, man. Time to do it. Trinket immediately for Grifka. Handy with a barkskin right after Grifka with an evasion. Trying to see if he can dodge any kind of bashes out of Handy. 60% dampening. You ain't gonna be able to heal for much, so tank it up like this. I don't know if that's gonna do it. Trying to drop down Ursuls. I think that could be good against Rogue if you can plan Ursuls in a good spot. But Grifka got himself yet another reset. Did you know Grifka's dagger transmog? It is a... What is that? It is a... I'll look at it in just a second. Now that he's killed him. It is a... It's like a... It's a recent one from the trading post. It's a recent mog from the trading post. That's what that is. Pretty sure. Chat can confirm or deny. Is that Rogue at the end with 4? That is Rogue at the end with 4. Gaska does take 3 though. At the very least. Well done, well done. Well done, well done. You just gotta keep those dots on the road, man. Just gotta keep those dots. He goes to reset. You gotta round the pillar. Not in the melee where he can sap you or gouge you. You gotta run, but like keep your distance to get some dots. Go for a root.